Hello friends, welcome back. Today, let's listen to a story about never giving up on your dreams. Do like this video and subscribe to our channel. The Bamboo and the Oak Tree. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, two seeds were planted side by side. One was a mighty oak tree seed, and the other was a bamboo seed. The oak seed sprouted quickly. This story tells us that sometimes growth happens in ways we don't see. Day after day, it reaches its branches towards the sun, but it seems like it's not getting any taller. A big oak tree stands nearby, and every time the sapling looks up at the oak, it feels bad about itself. Click on this video on the screen, and let the magic of stories fill your heart and mind. And if you enjoyed this magical journey, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on new stories. Also, click here to listen to more stories. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. One day, the sapling can't take it anymore. It asks the oak, "Why am I so tiny? I've been here for years, and I haven't grown at all." The oak tree thinks for a moment before answering, "My dear sapling, you are not as tall as me yet, but you have so much to learn. When I was your age, I didn't know any of the things I know now." "Oh, what do you mean?" asked the sapling. The oak tree said, "I learned how to bend my branches so that when the north wind blows, my leaves dance in the air like a beautiful green wave. I learned how to use my deep roots to hold on tight during the storms, so I do unfall over. And most importantly, I learned how to share my shade with all the animals in the forest, especially during the hot summer days." "Wow," said the sapling. "That sounds amazing. Can you teach me?" "Of course," said the oak. "If you want to learn these things, you must keep growing and get stronger first. But don't worry, little one. You'll get there. It just takes time." The sapling thought for a moment. "You're right," it said. "There is so much more to life than being tall. I want to be strong and wise like you, too." From that day on, the sapling didn't feel bad about being small anymore. It started to enjoy its life in the forest and learned all the skills an ambitious young tree needs. It played with the animals, listened to the birds singing, and watched the clouds passing by. At the same time, it kept growing stronger and deeper roots and reaching its branches higher and higher. And even though the oak tree was still bigger, the sapling didn't feel jealous anymore. Instead, it was happy to be on its own journey and looking forward to becoming a wise and helpful tree, just like the oak. It's like that old saying, out of sight, out of mind. They were best friends and they loved to talk to each other while swaying in the gentle breeze. One day a big storm came to the forest and the two young trees were very scared. They held on to each other tightly, but the wind was so strong that it tore them apart. They fell down and landed far away from each other. The once happy young trees felt sad and lonely, but they knew that they had to be strong and grow roots in their new places. After all, that's what trees do. The two trees started to grow. They reached their branches up to the sky and spread their leaves wide to catch as much sunlight as possible. They grew taller and stronger every day. Years went by and the trees grew up. They became the biggest and strongest trees in the forest. Their branches were thick and sturdy, and their roots were deep and firm. One day, a little bird flew up to the first tree and asked, "Please, Mr. Tree, can I build a nest in your branches? I need a safe and cozy place to raise my babies." The tree was very happy to help and said, "Of course, little bird, make yourself comfortable. My branches are always open to those who need help." The little bird thanked him and built a beautiful nest. Soon, she laid her eggs and waited for baby birds to hatch. Meanwhile, the second tree saw everything and thought to himself, "Why is that bird choosing this tree and not me? Maybe because I'm not strong enough, or maybe my branches are not big enough." Feeling sad, he decided to do something about it. He focused all his energy on growing stronger and bigger. He wanted to become the best tree in the forest and have all the birds build their nests in his branches. Finally, the day came when the baby birds were ready to fly. They chirped happily and flew around their father, the first tree, before starting their journey to find their own trees. The little bird flew back to the first tree and said, "Thank you for letting me live in your branches. You are the kindest tree in the forest and I will always remember you." She flew away to start her own family. The first tree felt a bit lonely now that the bird and her babies had left. He looked around and saw the second tree. The second tree had grown so tall and strong that its branches almost touched the sky. And there, on one of its branches, sat the little bird and her babies building their new nest. The first tree understood that his friend had worked hard and grown into a kind and helpful tree just like him. The first tree was happy for his friend. He realized that the most important thing was not to be the biggest or the strongest, but to be kind and helpful to others. He learned that true friendship means supporting each other and helping each other grow, even if sometimes it means being apart. But remember, just because others can't see something doesn't mean it's not happening. You might be learning and getting better, but it's not obvious to everyone. That's why it's important to focus on what you're doing and keep trying, even if it seems like you're not making progress. Like the bamboo, we often need to build a strong foundation before we can really grow, and that takes time. So be patient and keep working hard. Your time will come. Within a few weeks, a small green shoot pushed through the soil. Every day it grew taller, stronger, and broader. The animals of the forest admired the oak. "What a fast grower," said the deer. "It'll be a great tree one day," said the birds. But beside it, the bamboo seed showed no sign of growth. Days turned into weeks. Weeks became months. And still, nothing. The farmer who planted both seeds watered them daily. He talked to both seeds kindly. He pulled out the weeds. But still, the bamboo seed remained hidden beneath the ground. The oak tree looked at the soil beside it and laughed. "You're wasting your time," it said. "Maybe bamboo wasn't meant to grow. Maybe," the farmer whispered, "but I believe in it." 1 year passed. The oak tree stood tall, now the height of a man, but the bamboo seed remained silent. 2 years passed, then 3, then for whole year's end. Still nothing. People started mocking the farmer. Why waste water and time on a seed that won't grow? But the farmer only smiled and said, "Greater than some things take time." In the 5th year, something incredible happened. One morning, the farmer walked into the garden, and there it was, a tiny green shoot from the bamboo seed, just a few inches. But every day after that, it grew taller and taller. In just 6 weeks, it grew over 80 feet high. The oak tree was shocked. "How did you grow so fast?" "And it," said the bamboo, "I've been growing for 5 years, ... underground. I was building strong roots. If I had grown any earlier, I would have fallen over." Friends, when we compare ourselves with others, we may feel like we are not growing fast enough. Let's think about a young sapling in a forest. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there were 2 young trees growing side by side. Like this story, then you will definitely love the story of the tiny seed. Listen to this wonderful tale about hope and perseverance.